Okay, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Pulse. We're thrilled to have you join us for another exciting episode. On today's show, we have something special in store. We'll be delving into the rich tapestry of Canadian winter traditions, unveiling the unique and captivating practices that define the season in the Great White North. So fasten your seatbelts, grab a cozy blanket, and get ready to embark on a journey through the heartwarming and often whimsical world of Canadian winter traditions. So the most Canadian thing I could possibly think of in the winter is something that we call maple taffy. Have you heard of this?
I have not.
Okay, so it is literally the act of dropping maple syrup on snow and then like scooping it or like coiling it up on a stick and eating it like a lollipop.
Oh, okay. I have heard of that, but I think I actually saw a video, but I didn't hear of it being called maple taffy. Um, what's the neat name? Uh, I think that sounds delicious. I have never had the chance to try it.
Recommend, highly recommend. Um, Something we used to do. So I'm from Ontario, and we get snow, and it's cold in the winter. So we get a lot of ice too. And my friends and some of my family members used to build ice rinks in their backyard, like skating rinks, just because you could. You could just let it snow and rain and like clear it all off, and then wet it down with your hose and like make a nice ice rink right there in your backyard. Um, I think one of the more uniquely Canadian things to do with your backyard, just turn it into a hockey rink.
Yeah, unfortunately, in the Vancouver area, it doesn't get cold enough for that. But
No.
if you go up at the Grouse Grind, um up at the top of Grouse, they do an outdoor skating rink in the winter, which is really cool. I've gotten to go
No,
to that before.
you're a figure skater, yeah?
Yes.
And how long have you been skating?
Uh I've only been training for this is my sixth season. Um
Only, that's a long time. 6 years on the ice?
yeah. Well, compared to like a lot of my teammates who have been training since they were young children,
Yeah.
um, it's not that long. um, but we couldn't afford it when I was younger, and we didn't know about Special Olympics. Um, so I I really wanted to do figure skating, but I never got the chance. And then when I finally found out about Special Olympics figure skating, the schedules just did not work out. So I finally got to start uh 6 years ago, and I have absolutely loved it.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Um, in Vancouver, you guys have, I think it's in Vancouver, a polar bear swim every winter.
Yes. I know a few people who have done it, and it's usually done as like a fundraiser thing.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know a whole lot about it because freezing cold water is very bad for asthma.
But yeah, yeah, no, that was not something I was ever into. I was like, wait, polar bear swim, what's that? Where you go and like watch, do polar bears come into the bay near Vancouver and like you get to watch them? No, no, no. It's people that go into the freezing cold water for a swim like, on purpose.
Yeah, so I know like different groups will put on like their own polar bear swim, and I know that there was like Special Olympics did one at one point. So yeah, a lot of it is like people will actually pay, from my understanding, people will pay to go and do the polar bear swim with a big group of people in order to raise money uh, for a foundation or some sort of charity. And in that way, I think it's really cool.
There's got to be a better way. There
Yeah,
just is.
yeah.
Um, Other crazy cold weather activities, winter camping. I don't know if that's something that you have experienced, but when I was a teenager, I thought it would be a really fun idea to go on a winter camping trip with my classmates. And fun it was not. It was cold.
I was going to say winter camping sounds freezing and awful. Uh,
Yeah.
I know people who do it. I could never do it. I get cold way too easily.
So many different types of structures exist to keep you warm so that winter camping does not have to be a freezing cold, miserable experience. So tents are one thing, but tents are tents are cold. Even if you go camping in the summer, if it rains or at night, it gets cold and your tent is not going to keep you warm. So one of the structures that we stayed in was a yurt. So that was a canvas walled tent. And it was lifted off the ground and it had a little heater in the middle of the room. It was still cold
Ooh.
because it was February in Algonquin Park, but um, nice. But then there are also structures that are made like right out of snow. So igloos, as we know, are made of blocks of snow, formulated in a certain pattern to construct a dome. And then there's the more informal, what's called a quinzee, which is sort of like a snow hut. So it's just like a big pile of snow that's been hollowed out. Um, and those are also good ways to keep you warm. If you decide that it's a really good idea to go winter camping for some reason. Um, Another fun activity that is not uniquely Canadian, but it's practiced here, is called snow kiting. Have you heard of that before?
No. What is snow
Okay.
kiting?
Snow kiting is so cool. It's where you're on what's sort of like a snowboard, and then you have like a kite that's held onto like a bar, and you release this kite, and it drags you along whatever ice or lake that you're able to snow kite on. Um, I'm gonna have
Oh, that's
yeah,
cool.
I'm gonna have pictures up so it makes more sense, but it looks like a really fun time, and like the wind just carries you all around, and you're just skating along or sliding along on a board. Um, but some people don't even use a board; they just have like certain shoes that are super flat, and they're able to just like let the wind take them on these lakes. It's pretty cool.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah.
I could see also like if you could get some good wind up on the mountain, doing it on the snow with like uh a round, like even a garbage can lid or like a sled kind of thing.
Yeah, like a crazy carpet almost.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, yeah. Okay. You know what? Let's do this. Let's figure this out. We're gonna make this happen.
Yeah, I want to try this.
Hey, yeah, me too. Let's see if we can make it happen, and then we'll come back to it and we'll post some pictures later. We have a mission. Um, and then the last most Canadian thing that we do is we have snow sculpture contests with our neighbors. That does it for this week's episode of The Pulse. Join us next week when we share some of our favorite book recommendations. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.